What's going on, guys? Adam Green here with No More News. Thank you all for joining me. Today, Thursday, January 23rd, 2023. Got tons of stuff to cover today. Huge show. Going to be discussing the latest in Trump's world. A bunch of new rabbi clips talking about the fall of America, the fall of Edom. And one of the top rabbis that we've been clipping and adding to the fanatical rabbi compilations apparently saw one of the videos and talked about it. It's good fun that rabbis are on notice. We send our regards. And a bunch of other stuff. Was working on the anti-Christian Germany video, collecting all the material. I may do that tomorrow or over the weekend. I got some big debate next week. I got Gnostic Informant is coming on Tuesday. Over the weekend, I'm going to do an interview with a new friend from Twitter. It's talking about some interesting things. So a lot going on. Books coming along well. And does anybody else feel like Adam Green? Anybody else feel like we're in the Judeo Twilight Zone, stuck in the Judeo Matrix? Or you've been taking your green pills? A lot of MAGA is celebrating today. Trump kept one of his campaign promises to sign an executive order declassifying the JFK, RFK, and MLK, all the three-letter abbreviation assassinations. He says everything will be revealed. We'll see about everything. My initial thoughts on this, it's probably going to be a limited release, a controlled, limited hangout, possibly distraction. Nothing that puts any important people today in any risk. I would doubt. I would highly doubt. Here, let's play that.
Lastly, sir, we have an executive order ordering the declassification of files relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
That's a big one, huh? A lot of people are
He does that every time. That's a big one. Pretty big deal, right, guys?
waiting for this for years.
Oh, he goes, people have been waiting for this for years. Like he promised in 2016 that he was going to release the JFK files and tell you who really knocked down the towers and did 9/11, all those promises. And then he ended up not releasing all the JFK files and then blaming Pompeo, but also in the news, Pompeo and Bolton having their security clearances stripped by Trump.
Decades. People are waiting for this for years. For decades. And everything will be revealed.
Everything will be revealed. Is that not a QAnon slogan?
Give that to RFK Jr.
Give the pen to RFK Jr. Everything will be revealed. I wonder what happens if I search that on Twitter.
Relating to the assassinations of
If that's a Q line.
Senator Robert F. Kennedy and Reverend Dr.
Yeah, it is. I'm right.
That's a big one, huh?
Look at that. It sure is a total coincidence that President Trump just said everything will be revealed on a 5-year delta. What is the Q post? Truth and facts will prevail. The public will learn the truth. That's not everything will be revealed, though.
Okay.
We will see. A lot of talk on Israel being behind the assassination, of course. Will we see any disclosure on that? I highly doubt it. Remember when Trump was asked about, will you release the JFK files? He goes, yes. And then, will you release the Epstein files? And he was like, oh, I don't know. Actually, I don't know about that one. And that's probably because of, where is it? There it is. This was released right before the election. An interview with Epstein talking about Trump, saying he was best friends with Trump for like 10 years. And remember, Maria Farmer, the first Epstein victim to go to the police that we know of, named Trump as one of the key conspirators in the Epstein network.
Charming. He is able to convince people, so he tells everybody what they want to hear.
So how do you know this?
Donald's closest friend.
He was Donald's closest friend for 10 years. We've seen the photos. We've seen the video of them whispering in each other's ears, looking at the girls. He tells a story about Trump at a topless party with a bunch of girls. He didn't say underage, which I'm not surprised that a billionaire playboy would be hanging out at topless pool parties in the 80s. But the most shocking thing about this is the Democrats all want to focus, the Republicans and MAGA only wants to focus on the Clintons and Epstein and the Democrats with Epstein. And then you'll say, what about Trump and Epstein? He was best friends with them. And they go, no, he wasn't. Where's the proof? They haven't even seen this. They're just stuck in echo chambers and copes and delusions and lies.
He has a sense of humor. He can be funny.
He's great. His ability to sell. It's very much like Clinton. Both Bill and Donald have the ability to go over to a fat, ugly...
Selling MEGA as MAGA. Selling Make Israel Great Again. $500 billion to Oracle and their mRNA anti-cancer technology that's basically, by the way, oh shoot. Where is it? Look at this. Is it? Oh, wait, that's not it. Is anybody shocked? Amazing Polly found this one. Uh-oh. Oracle, we covered on the show yesterday, Trump's new big plan that he never said anything about during his campaign, $500 billion for Operation Stargate for AI, $500 billion to go to invest into AI. He had Oracle, Larry Ellison, the Jewish Zionist billionaire behind Oracle. Oracle partnered with Israeli-based AI company Imagine to do the cancer detection thing. Imagine Series A funding was led by Larry Ellison. We played the clip of Larry Ellison yesterday talking about how much he's a Zionist and loves Israel, and he calls it our country, and talked about many Israeli companies that he's invested in or bought up. Will Tel Aviv be involved in the recently announced U.S. mRNA vaccine data center project at all? You can bet it is. Imagine taps Oracle cloud infrastructure to fight against cancer. Imagine AI, a pioneer in AI-based precision oncology, Tel Aviv-based startup. Not even 3 days, and Donald Trump is already working with Jewish billionaires to give us mRNA vaccines with Israeli companies. Not even 3 days. It's incredible. All right, where's the rest of that Epstein clip? Play the rest of it.
Woman. So you are the most... Go over to a fat, ugly woman. So you are the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
So you probably never had a scalp reduction. Because you had the same male pattern model that we all have.
He's not a horrible human being. He does nasty things to his best friends.
He's a horrible human being who does nasty things to his best friends. Maybe he's referring to them fighting over the real estate deal, which reportedly is how they had their falling out.
Best friends' wives. Anyone who first tries to gain your trust and then uses it to do bad things. That's how
Gains your trust and uses it to do bad things. There's Trump. What is this? Trump declassifies the MLK and JFK assassination files. We're still waiting on the Epstein list. I saw tons of stuff. In other news, Trump promised Make America Healthy Again. He brought on board Kennedy to be the anti-seed oil, anti-dyes, what was the other? Fluoride, seed oils was the biggest one. And guess what? Who could have imagined Trump has appointed a seed oil lobbyist will be the chief of staff at the USDA. Kaylee Tax Bueller, appointed as chief of staff of the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Kaylee served as the president and CEO of the National Oilseed Processors Association and Edible Oil Producers Association. Campaigns on taking seed oils out of American diets, and then to rub it in your face, he's constantly showing you on his plane with RFK and the McDonald's, the seed oils from McDonald's. No refunds. Sorry, MAGA Trumpians. No refunds. No refunds on your Israeli mRNA anti-cancer tech. No refunds on your seed oil promises. That was a good one, huh? That was a funny troll. That was a alpha move of Trump to take the photo of him with RFK eating the McDonald's. Incredible. He's always doing big promos with Coca-Cola as well, too. The Coca-Cola McDonald's thing, it's all product play. He's a corporate front man selling Ziocorp to America. Thomas Massey shared that too. No refunds. Former lobbyist for the snack food associations too. Make seed oils great again. Man, no refunds. Sorry, guys. Trump says he can determine whether immigrants are good or bad by how they look. You can look at them and say, could be trouble. In many cases, he's right. I mean, this is common sense. Physiognomy never lies.
It could be trouble.
It's not just physiognomy, though. It's the tattoos, it's the dress, it's the talk, it's the look, it's the attitude. You can tell most of the time. People have an instinct for trouble usually.
Open borders with people pouring in, some of whom, I won't get into it, but you can look at them and you can say, could be trouble, could be trouble. Open borders with people.
So they're mad about that, but this is the most funny viral video. The deportations have started, and they're pretty epic, honestly. Here's a Haitian screams, fuck Trump, Biden forever. Wait till you see this one.
And in a
I'm not going back to Haiti.
one of those threats is this illegal.
He says he's going to unalive himself, too. They muted him down. He goes, I'm not going back to Haiti. He'd rather kill himself.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
Trump, you feel me? Yo, Biden.
Dude, Trump couldn't ask for better visuals than this. He couldn't ask for better promotion than a video of a guy like this getting deported and saying F Trump. Trump looks at an immigrant and goes, they're brown. That means they're trouble. That's funny. Watch the Collapse says, hail chat, hail Goy Shiach, and hail your ancestors. Thankful for my green pill family. Seriously, I feel like I'm boofing crazy pills. Boofing? Is that a word or is that a misspelling? Watch the Collapse. We're going to play Watch the Collapse video. It's hilarious. We'll play it towards the end of our Christian segment, our Fall of America segment.
Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
Thank Obama, bro.
ICE Boston quickly takes down its next targets, including this illegal alien from Brazil who has an Interpol red notice for armed robbery. This Salvadoran illegal alien charged locally with rape and released by...
Dude, it's like, why have we not been kicking these people, deporting all these people out already? They commit crimes. They're not, they're green cards or illegal citizens. They commit crimes and then they're still here. A lot of these people are protected by these leftist sanctuary cities, which they're still going to try to protect. In fact, sanctuary cities are saying they're going to stand up to these raids.
And this Dominican illegal alien charged with assault with a deadly weapon and heroin trafficking. Officers also arrested this Guatemalan MS-13 gang member facing gun charges. ICE says he was released from local custody just the day before. Their detainer request was ignored because of sanctuary policies. And in a sign of shifting priorities with the new Trump administration, this man, who was in the same apartment as the target, was also arrested after ICE determined he's also in the U.S. illegally. This is what ICE calls collateral.
So you guys got your main target just now, but you got somebody else. What just happened?
So our main target
They're also apparently raiding immigration lawyer offices.
was released by a sanctuary jurisdiction, not honoring a detainer. That person was released back into the community, and when we went to go find him, he's with somebody else who was previously removed from the United States. So he's going to go today too.
And that is exactly what Border Czar Tom Homan has warned would happen.
When we find the bad guy, he's probably with others that are in the United States illegally. They may not be a criminal priority, but we're not walking away from them.
ICE Boston says they will continue to go into sanctuary jurisdictions and do their job.
Today was a good day. Today we took several significant public safety threats out of our communities. Unfortunately, a lot were...
They're literally saving lives and saving people from being robbed and preyed upon. They're saving our tax dollars from going to house and feed these people in prison.
By sanctuary policies, but we're here to tell the Commonwealth and the rest of the country that we're going to find them whether they're released or not.
And guys, shortly after we finished filming, ICE Boston told us they arrested 2 more targets in other parts of town away from our cameras. One of those targets is a previously deported Honduran illegal alien who was arrested for raping a woman while putting a gun in her mouth. The other target they got is a...
How amazing is it, like, all of these people are in our country and, like, allowed out to do more crime? And we knew about all these people and where they were and what they've done, and they were just letting them be?
Haitian man who first flew into the United States in 2023 as part of President Biden's controversial migrant flights mass parole program. Well, they just picked him up yesterday because he's been arrested locally for sexual assault. We'll send it back to you.
Bill Mallusion, it was fascinating to watch all of that. I think I was just saying to Bill, this is terrible for Joe Biden and the legacy that he tried to leave behind. A question from me. How soon will they actually be leaving the country? Does that take a long time?
It depends what country they're from. If they're from cooperable countries like El Salvador, Guatemala, countries like that, it can be quick. It can be within days or weeks. If it's countries that are harder to deport, countries that don't cooperate with the U.S. as much, it can go into a process of months. But the Trump administration is changing policies with something called expedited removal. The bottom line is people at home don't need to understand all the policies. The Trump administration is just going to work as fast as they can to get all the people you just saw on camera there out of the country as fast as possible. They're also going to use their State Department, now led by Marco Rubio, to put pressure on countries that don't cooperate with the U.S. as much when it comes to those deportations.
Bill, just two points of clarification here. It seems a lot of these crimes are associated with sex crimes. I'm just looking at the list a bit earlier today. I don't know if that generally is the case or not. And second, if Boston's a sanctuary city...
Yeah, those are the first to go. We're going to protect the women and children.
Boston doesn't have to cooperate with ICE, but there's nothing they can do to stop ICE from coming into their city and enforcing the law. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. And that's the point ICE makes to us is, look, they don't have to cooperate with our detainer requests.
Are they just making a big show out of like a few of the really bad ones, and then overall there's still going to be no big change in the overall immigration status? I fear that.
Somebody from jail, but we're going to do our job.
Legal immigration status.
We have our intel guys out in the field. We have people with eyes all over the place, and we're going to snatch those guys so they can make ICE's job more difficult, longer, and more dangerous, but it's not going to stop ICE from doing the job, guys. The bottom line is ICE says it's safer for everybody involved if locals would just hand these guys over.
These states, these leftist states, these communist groups, these church groups are working to protect all the immigrants from ICE and deportations and having law and order and borders in our country.
In jail once they're arrested, but they don't. They let them out onto the streets. They don't tell ICE about it, so ICE has to spend a lot of resources gathering intel, finding these guys, and then going out into the community to do arrests, which could be dangerous. You saw that combative Haitian man, and then you saw, in the case of that one MS-13 member, his friend...
Political theater, yeah.
They were looking for him. They were looking for the MS-13.
They're like, give him this.
They picked him up because...
Give the base, throw the base some bones and highly publicize it while... under the table, they're doing all their big Zio stuff and their Operation Stargate stuff.
Sanctuary jurisdiction released the MS-13 guy. ICE found him and then found the guy who was in the apartment with. They found out he was an illegal alien as well. So now he's going to be deported too.
Wow. Abraham McMatrix Destroyer wants to join ICE. That's funny. Look at these statements from the Catholic organizations. National Catholic Reporter U.S. bishops set down some markers on immigration. Let's hear what the trad cats, let's hear what the Catholics have to say about this. Remember, the Pope said, quote, if it is true, it will be a disgrace on Trump's deportations. The Pope says, if it is true, it will be a disgrace because it makes the poor wretches who have nothing pay the bill for the inequalities. What? That doesn't even make sense. We're having to pay the bill for them, Pope. Okay, here, what else do we have? Cardinal Kupich says, quote, while we wish the new administration success in promoting the common good, the reports being circulated of planned mass deportations targeting the Chicago area are not only profoundly disturbing, but also wound us deeply. We got Catholics all over the internet in these spaces attacking us, saying, oh, you're anti-white if you attack the church. The church is the only way. Nothing opposes them more. There's nothing can save us but the Catholic Church. Volca Spirit says, I hate these damn church officials. Yeah, this is what Christianity actually looks like. That woman priest that Trump and J.D. Vance were in front of the other day, we played the clip, saying similar stuff. And then Christians will cope and go, that's not real Christianity. They're not real Christians. It's like, this is the majority of Christians. This is what your books teach. Gets even worse. Cardinal Mexico City says, we are proud of our legacy of immigration that continues in our day to renew the city we love. This is a moment to be honest about who we are. Also said, quote, we also are committed to defending the rights of all people and protecting their human dignity, meaning letting illegals stay and taking care of them. We're deeply concerned. Hold on. This is Cardinal Tobin, New Jersey. Says, quote, we're deeply concerned about the potential impact of mass deportations on children and families within the within the Catholic tradition and other faith expressions represented here today. We're able to see the humanity in everyone. Bishop from Texas says, quote, we are at risk of losing part of our soul as a nation, so this is a time of great concern. Translation, as the author of this Catholic article says, if you're going to go after the immigrants, you have to go through the Catholic Church. Come on. They're disavowing the Nick Fuentes and the Gropers. The Orthodox Church is telling Brother Nathaniel to knock it off. E. Michael Jones is crashing out, speaking against white unity. When are people going to realize, yeah, that's who's filling the churches, right? These bishops are all for this because it's all the immigrants and Latinos that fill their churches. You go to any Catholic church in Southern California, it's going to be basically full of Mexicans. More so than normal places in Southern California. Is more on the confirmation hearings. Pete Hegseth is looks like he's going to be confirmed, although there's a little bit of a hang up. But here's Elise Stefanik, the purported Catholic, talking about she won't answer if Palestinians have a right to self-determinations, and she says Israel has a biblical right to the entire West Bank. We played a clip of her the other day saying also, it might be the same one actually.
Also, Representative Stefanik, it was a very simple.
And they're trying to confirm her to be the head of the UN, Israel's shield and guardian.
Representative Stefanik, it was a very simple question. I just asking you if you agree with the statement that in order to achieve long-term peace and stability in the Middle East, that we have to secure the human rights and rights of self-determination for both Israelis and Palestinians. That's a yes or no?
I support human rights for all, and I think it's a disgrace that Hamas and Hezbollah have stripped human rights of the Palestinian people, and we need to ensure that we are standing up for human rights, and Israel is standing up for human rights. It is a beacon of human rights in the region.
We agree with that. I asked you in my office also about whether Palestinians have the right of self-determination. My understanding was you said yes. Do you have a different answer today?
That was not the direct question that we discussed. I said the
You
Palestinian
believe
people.
that Palestinians have the right of self-determination?
I believe the Palestinian people deserve so much better than the failures that they've had
We agree
from
on that.
terrorist
It's
leadership.
just a pretty simple question.
And I believe we need
I take it
peace in the region. Of course, they deserve human rights.
So
I want to ensure that, number one, we bring the hostages home.
So do all of us. Representative Stefanik, let me just ask you. I have 30 seconds left. I'm rarely surprised by answers in my office, but I did ask you whether you subscribe to the views of Finance Minister Smotrich.
Of who? I'm sorry,
Smotrich, this is the Israeli Finance Minister Smotrich and
Extreme
and former
Zionist.
National Security Minister Ben-Gvir, who believe that Israel has a biblical right to the entire West Bank. And in that conversation, you told me that, yes, you shared that view. Is that your view today?
Yes.
Okay. I think when it comes to this very difficult issue, if the president is going to succeed at bringing peace and stability to the Middle East, we're going to have to look at the UN Security Council resolutions, not just the ones on Lebanon, which we should enforce, but other UN Security Council resolutions. And it's going to be very difficult to achieve that if you continue to hold the view that you just expressed, which is a view that was not held by the founders of the State of Israel, who were secular Zionists, not religious Zionists. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
What is he even trying to get at? Not understanding his point. Here's Israel, Danny Danon, the Israel's former or maybe still current ambassador to the United Nations, thanking Elise Stefanik. She's such a groveling Zionist.
How do you think you should deal with UNRWA? How do you think we should address U.S. taxpayer funds having gone to an organization like that that has been directly complicit in terrorism in the October 7th, 2023 attack?
We should never tolerate any U.S.
UNRWA is like the helps the refugee camps in Palestine.
taxpayer funds going towards terrorism, as in my question with the ranking member Shaheen.
They're humanitarian, not terrorism.
Defund UNRWA. I was one of the leaders in standing for that important appropriations vote, which there is a bipartisan consensus on, with significant members, Republicans, as well as some Democrats who voted to defund it. I think we can look to organizations within the UN system, such as UNHCR, such as the World Food Program, working with USAID, which are proven organizations. They still need, reform efforts and modernization, but don't have the terrorist ties that UNRWA had, particularly that were exposed during the October 7th Hamas attack against Israel, whether it was Hamas's leader Sinwar carrying an UNRWA teacher's passport, or whether it was the UNRWA office above a Hamas data center, or individuals within UNRWA who participated in the terrorist attack.
Hamas data center, what's that? Above an office with a computer?
So
they just claim everything's Hamas.
Support the president's commitment to
They claim you're Hamas. They claim you're terrorists. They claim you're an Amalekite, and then they're justified in completely destroying you,
I'm proud to have voted for that in the Congress.
making you illegal, and you're not allowed to talk. Yeah, Hamas data center. I wonder what that looked like. We covered the huge, disturbing connection between Trump's Stargate and the Israeli company for these cancer. So somebody's got to go find the clip of I Am Legend, the beginning of I Am Legend. It talks about how they got some cancer cure, and that's what leads to all the zombies. What is this? A room with a filing cabinet, yeah. Somebody with a cell phone, that's their data center. Somebody had an external hard drive, that's Hamas data center. Alabama Yeoman says, Jew backdoors in people's DNA, just like Western nations, government, and intelligence agencies' tech. Not scary at all. I know you're worried about Israel inside of our tech and backdoors and kill switches. How about the nanobots with the Israeli companies in our vaccines? Alabama Yeoman again says, just what everyone needs. Israeli Jews manipulating everyone's DNA. Yeah, I Am Legend. Oh, you found the I Am Legend? Is it the beginning? Hold on, we got a commercial playing. Let's see. Oh, cool. It's the perfect opening scene. Hold on. Let's get this up. We'll watch it. I've been wanting to see it.
The world of medicine has seen its share of miracle cures, from the polio vaccine to heart transplants, but all past achievements may pale in comparison to the work of Dr. Alice Crippen. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Not at all.
So, Dr. Crippen, give it to me in a nutshell.
Well, the premise is quite simple.
I can't believe they have the doctor. Oh, because she's kind of a villain, maybe. She caused the zombie outbreak. They have it as a pretty blonde white lady.
Take something designed by nature and reprogram it to make it work for the body rather than against it.
You're talking about a virus?
Indeed, yes. In this case, the measles virus, which has been engineered at a genetic level to be helpful rather than harmful. I find the best way to describe it is if you can imagine your body as a highway and you picture the virus as a very fast car being driven by a very bad man, imagine the damage that car could cause. But then if you replace that man with a cop, the picture changes, and that's essentially what we've done.
How many people have you treated so far?
Well, we've had 10,009 clinical trials in humans so far.
And how many?
109 or 10,009?
Cancer-free.
10,009.
So you have actually cured cancer?
Yes. Yes, we have.
Boom. And then it makes everybody zombies and kills everybody. Oh, wait. 3 years later. Dystopian ghost town zombie world. Just imagine Dr. Fauci in her place, right? Thank you for that. It's not the scene I remember. It must be one of the other zombie movies. It has something very similar. 28 Days is something like that, right? Opening scene of 28 Days Later. I'll have to look later. So Trump is at World Economic Forum already. Slams the CEO of Bank of America to his face for debanking conservatives.
And by the way, speaking of you, and you've done a fantastic job, but I hope you start opening your bank to conservatives, because many conservatives complain that the banks are not allowing them to do business within the bank, and that included a place called Bank of America. They don't take conservative business. And I don't know if the regulators mandated that because of Biden or what, but you and Jamie and everybody, I hope you're going to open your banks to conservatives, because what you're doing is wrong.
How about not just to conservatives and Zionists, but everybody? How about no debanking anybody? Banking is a human right. No discrimination based on political opinions. No banning people from banks, which is basically like almost not a community service. I know some of them are private, but you have to have a bank to be in society, basically. You can't be discriminating based on
Mr. President, I'll say that
people's views.
I hope you're going to open your banks to conservatives, because what you're doing is wrong.
Trump's calling out the bankers.
Mr. President, I'll say that your friend Gianni said hello, told me to tell you hello, and we look forward to sponsoring the World Cup when it comes, both this summer for the club and next year. So thank you for getting that for the United States.
And by the way,
and his answer is thanks. We're going to sponsor you, so shut up. This was the statement they put out. Bank of America serves more than 70 million clients, and we welcome conservatives. We would never close accounts for political reasons and don't have a political litmus test. Bullshit. Everybody's saying bullshit. They've been banning a bunch of people. And it's not because they're conservatives or they voted for Trump alone. They go like, oh, we'll let Trump supporters on, but if you say something bad about Israel or the Jews or something pro-white, then you're banned. But they're still letting conservatives on. Being conservative is not the political reason. But there's a boss, king of the world, Trump, calling out the bankers at Davos, calling them out to their face. Yeah, can you still use credit cards? Odyssey has a new payment announcement. I know. I think you guys are still going to be able to use credit cards, but they're supposed to pay out to me differently. They're not going to use the old system they had, and I don't even know what they're going to have. But hopefully it works, because if it doesn't, I'm going to be in big trouble. Yeah, banking is like almost like a public service. That's like saying they're not going to let you have a cell phone, or you're not going to have electricity or water or gas because you said something bad on the internet. Trump is flipping over the tables in the temple just like Jesus. Good one, Liam. I like where your head's at. President Trump tells Davos World Economic Forum that he's undoing all of their NWO agendas in America. Let's see about that.
That's why from the moment I took office, I've taken rapid action to reverse.
Hold on. Isn't the New World Order agenda like the satanic Luciferian one world government, one world religion? Like, I thought that was the New World Order. I thought the Antichrist beast system of the red heifers and the third temple and the Antichrist, I thought that was the satanic New World Order. Trump's on board with all those guys. Are we forgetting that? That aspect of the New World Order?
Each and every one of these radical left. That's why from the moment I took office, I've taken rapid action to reverse each and every one of these radical left policies that created this calamity. In particular,
I'm mute. Sorry. This sounds like AI. I thought this was AI at first.
with immigration, crime, and inflation.
Or it's just sped up. He's reading it off a teleprompter robotically, and it's sped up, I think. Tomcat Smith, 1975 for 10. Thank you, Tomcat. They are all full of shit and can't help but lie through their teeth.
In particular, with immigration, crime, and inflation. On day one, I signed an executive order directing every member of my cabinet to marshal all powers at their disposal to defeat inflation and reduce the cost of daily life. I imposed a federal hiring freeze, a federal regulation freeze, a foreign aid freeze, and I created the new Department of Government Efficiency. I terminated the ridiculous and incredibly wasteful Green New Deal. I call it the Green New Scam. Withdrew from the one-sided Paris Climate Accord and ended the insane and costly electric vehicle mandate. We're going to let people buy the car they want to buy. I declared a national energy emergency, and it's so important, national energy emergency to unlock the liquid gold under our feet and pave the way for rapid approvals of new energy infrastructure. The United States has the largest amount of oil and gas of any country on earth, and we're going to use it. Not only will this reduce the cost of virtually all goods and services, it'll make the United States a manufacturing superpower and the world capital of artificial intelligence and crypto. My administration...
The capital of AI and crypto, he says. Yeah, sounds like he's really fighting the Trump's really fighting the NWO beast system by becoming the empire of crypto and AI.
Capital of artificial intelligence and crypto.
Yeah, techno-nationalism, techno-Zionist nationalism.
My administration has also begun the largest deregulation campaign in history, far exceeding even the record-setting efforts of my last term. And I've made it official, an official policy of the United States, that there are only two genders, male and female. And we will have no men participating in women's sports, and transgender operations, which became the rage, will occur very rarely.
Thank God. Thank God, a little bit of common sense. People are so desperate for anything. Just having like common sense ideas like that feels like we're getting the world almost.
American people like hasn't been seen in many years. And
here's Alex Jones sharing this one. Tells the Globalist, 3 days ago, I took the oath and we began a golden age of America.
Thank you very much, Klaus, and hello to everyone in beautiful Davos.
Thank you, Klaus. Thank you, Klaus Schwab.
Thank you very much, Klaus, and hello to everyone in beautiful Davos. This has been a truly historic week in the United States. 3 days ago, I took the oath of office, and we began the golden age of America. The recent presidential election was won by millions of votes, and all seven, every one of them, all seven swing states, There was a massive mandate from the American people like hasn't been seen in many years. And some of the
See, he's talking mandate. I talked about his mandate.
political pundits, even some of my so-called enemies, said it was the most consequential election victory in 129 years. That's quite nice. What the world has witnessed in the past 72 hours is nothing less than a revolution of common sense.
Hey, that's what I just said. Revolution of common sense. That's catchy.
Be stronger, wealthier,
That's some
and more
rhetoric.
united than ever before, and the entire planet will be more peaceful and prosperous as a result of this incredible momentum and what we're doing and going to do.
Golden age. So Alex Jones says Trump will just told Davos globalist he will make the United States the world capital of artificial intelligence and crypto. David Icke says, so what good is it? An AI human control system is what you want then? I could have sworn you once railed against it, but no longer it seems. I mean, what would your masters say? Nice. David Icke is all over Alex Jones and these Trump shills. This was the viral video today. Look, 1.2 million views. Finally entering our blonde supremacy era. These are the new spokesgirls for Trump.
Right.
These pretty blondes. What is going on here? America's back, baby.
Undermining the president's AI decision yesterday.
Now this I like.
The executive orders that the president is signing today, you reference them a bit in your interview, but just can you set the what is he doing this afternoon?
I believe it was Reuters who broke the news that President Trump signed an executive order of 1,500.
Get your Zionism with some hot blondes. That's what I'm talking about. Maybe throw in some IDF babes while you're at it.
To make Homeland Security a core mission.
Yeah, we like beauty pageant spokesmen, right, Trump?
American people have been waiting for such a time as
We like the cheerleader blondes in front of the camera, right, guys? You'll take her over Loomer?
The American people and the president is already delivered. But can you confirm?
Blonde girl supremacy. Look at that. 3 blonde girls? Where is the diversity? Oh my gosh. Hate to see it. It's happening. That's a W. That's a big W. Liam, you like the one in orange?
How you doing?
Yeah, that one. Viking Queens, talking it up. MAGA mommies, huh? No, not Khazars. No, she's not Jewish. Come on, don't kill it for me. Those are all natural blonde Viking queens. We're so back. Trump's angels. That's funny. A new angle has come out of Elon's infamous "My heart goes out to you all." Here it is. Looks even worse.
Thank you.
Whoa. You know, I saw everybody knows what that hand gesture is. You have to be really autistic to do that and not know what you're doing, honestly. The sound, I've seen it like 1,000 times. The hardest one I've ever seen, and the sound effects. Look how he smirks after he does it, too.
Thank you.
Day one. Day one and the Roman salutes are already out. Incredible. What's even more incredible, ADL comes to his aid. Netanyahu comes to his aid. Kosher techno-fascism. That's funny. Elon Muskovich. Just in, Israel's Netanyahu says Elon Musk is being falsely smeared as a Nazi. He is, quote unquote, a great friend of Israel. Netanyahu says it's fine. And then Elon follows up with a joke here today. He says, don't say Hess to Nazi accusations. Hess is a top Nazi. Some people will Goebbels anything down. Stop goring your enemies. His pronouns would have been he, Himmler. Bet you did not see that coming. Okay, so he's naming all the top Nazis as puns, basically. 200,000 likes for that. Humor. Also, the ADL said he didn't mean it. Everybody calm down. And he said he responded and said, thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. But despite Elon being he also tweeted that he's a Zionist and a Nazi because they were accusing him. He's accused of both. Here's the Bend the Arc Jewish Actions response to Elon.
If you actually care about... So you might have seen Elon Musk do this moments after Trump was inaugurated. And most Jews and historical experts and so many of our allies feel horrified. But then there's the ADL. The ADL, who call themselves the world's leading expert on anti-Semitism, shining a light on all anti-Semitism, refused to recognize his back-to-back Nazi salutes. They told us to take a breath. They want to give Elon the benefit of the doubt. Now we can show grace to people who make mistakes, but Elon Musk, the guy who bought a social media platform where he could boost, verify, and pay Nazi posters, the guy who backs a German political party with neo-Nazis, the guy who promotes the anti-Semitic and racist Great Replacement theory that has led to many mass shootings, you don't need to defend it.
No, there's no replacement happening. You're not allowed to talk about as they actively say they're doing it and it's a good thing and it needs to happen faster and we deserve it because we're evil. Not allowed to talk about that. That's they're basically confessing that that's their agenda.
Guy who promotes the anti-Semitic and racist Great Replacement theory that has led to many mass shootings, you don't need to defend it when Musk does full-on Nazi salutes. Especially when it happened moments after Trump announced a series of hateful executive orders that mimic the treatment of Jews in early Nazi Germany. It's not hard to believe that Musk did this when his buddy Trump has spent his entire political career courting violent white nationalist and Nazi supporters, and who's now pardoning their convictions. You think this wasn't a Sieg Heil? Go ask the actual neo-Nazis who are very excited about what they saw. The ADL says they exist to protect Jews. So why are they protecting those who prey on Jews? They've even cozied up to Trump at our expense.
Hold on. Why is the ADL protecting Elon? Elon preys on Jews? He preys on Jews? Really? Come on.
About what they saw. The ADL says they exist to protect Jews. So why are they protecting those who prey on Jews? They've even cozied up to Trump at our expense. This has never kept Jews safe. Trump's dangerous policies have never kept Jews safe. You think Jews will be safe when they come for immigrants and trans people, including Jews who belong to those groups?
See, Trump is just like Hitler and the Nazis coming after trans people. Hey, those are the books they burned, right? How many times have we been hearing that? They've definitely been wanting to get that on the record and let everybody know the Nazis were banning the transsexual LGBTQ books. And now Trump and MAGA are they're ultra-Zionist, of course, but now they're also the new Nazis that are doing deportations and persecuting all the poor minorities.
You think Jews will be safe when they come for immigrants and trans people, including Jews who belong to those groups? You know, there's a great poem about that. We have a petition you can sign to call out the ADL on this. Tell them how you feel at the link in our bio. And if you actually care about Jewish safety and want to end anti-Semitism, follow us and send this to your friends.
So this is like ADL's competition. They're like, the ADL is not going after anti-Semitism enough. The ADL is anti-Semitic. That's where we're at. Thousands have signed our petition demanding the ADL retract their defense of Musk salute. Oh, my God. It's just like Shmuley Boteach calling Ben Shapiro anti-Semitic. Now these guys are calling the ADL anti-Semitic. Unbelievable. Comedy. Now... Jews need, it's all about the victimhood, always the victimhood status. It's a law of nature. Esau is to be hated by the nations, right? Have we not always heard that a billion times? Okay, now we got some great new clips from See Through It All. This rabbi has taken notice, and he's commenting on how he's been included in some of our rabbi compilations about destroying Edom. And apparently, I think he says his father-in-law or his rabbi or something saw it and showed it to him and goes, look at you in this video. And he's like trying to defend himself. He's like, I'm just saying what the Torah says and what the sages say. It's just Judaism. It's not the Jews that's going to destroy the Gentiles. It's God that's going to destroy the Gentiles. That's his angle. Here we go. See Through It All says, we got the rabbi shook, Adam. All we want to do is, and shout out to Uber Boyo, gave See Through It All, I think, a year-long subscription so he can now post longer videos. He didn't want to do it because he wants to stay anonymous. He didn't want to put his info in, but Uber Boyo did it for him. Beautiful. Uber Boyo's the man. I was just thinking last night, too, about having him back on, and then I saw this. Definitely got to have him back on. He's awesome. All right, here we go.
Obviously, that just basically reading from the.
I wish he would have named this. I wish he would have named me. Oh, this No More News. This No More News video. This Adam Green. I wish so bad he would have named me.
There are actually.
Name me, Rabbi. We name you. Oh, he's actually not even a rabbi, too, he says. And Adam King's claiming this is a green screen, and he hasn't read all of these books, which it does kind of look like a green screen and a fake bookshelf. But he knows his shit. He knows his esoteric Judaism. I haven't seen anything he said that's wrong or that other rabbis aren't saying or that he can't back up with the scriptures.
There are actually people out there in the tens, if not hundreds of millions around the world who actually believe that these, I'm not even joking, I couldn't believe when I saw this, a bunch of old rabbis sitting in a basement with their Kabbalah witchcraft, and they plan to take over the world.
Hold on, you didn't do the hand, you don't rub your hands together like that. You ring them together. You didn't do it right, Rabbi. Give us the right gif, okay? If you're going to do it right.
There are actually people out there in the tens, if not hundreds of millions around the world who actually believe that these, I'm not even joking,
hundreds of millions have seen our rabbi clips. You're on notice, Rabbi. The Amalekite army sends its regards, Rabbi. The Goyim know, Rabbi.
There are actually people out there in the tens, if not hundreds of millions around the world who actually believe that these, I'm not even joking, I couldn't believe when I saw this, a bunch of old rabbis sitting in a basement with their Kabbalah witchcraft, and they plan to take over the world by showing videos of them read prophecy in the Bible. I know this because I was in one of these videos. I couldn't believe it. When I saw this, it was like, oh, cool, okay. A friend of my father sent me this video. He's like, check it out, you're in it. I'm like, okay, cool. And I see this rabbi talking about, prophecy, that rabbi talking about prophecy, that just basically.
It's 100% one of mine, See Through It Alls or John Garadis' compilations. Undoubtedly. He never says we took him out of context. He never says we misrepresented him. He never says that he takes it back or we portrayed him incorrectly. He doubles down and he goes, yeah, this is what our Torah says. This is what he goes, I'm just reading from our prophecies.
A friend of my father sent me this video. He's like, check it out, you're in it. I'm like, okay, cool. And I see this rabbi talking about, prophecy, that rabbi talking about prophecy, that just basically reading from the Tanakh. And I'm like, oh, and there I am. Okay, cool. I think what I was quoting there was the Maharal from Prague, from the going into a new reality. All this is our sages and from the Torah, and I'm like, oh, wow, I'm not a rabbi. They're putting me there with them. Good stuff. I agree with everything they said. And then once you see the comments of these sections, like, oh, this is an anti-Semitic channel. They're like, look what the Jews are planning.
No, you are planning it. You're fantasizing about your prophecies to destroy America in the West. And then he goes, oh, anybody that has a problem with that is anti-Semitic. I thought this was a pro-rabbi channel that promoted how great our world takeover is going to be. So funny.
I'm like, oh, wow. I'm not a rabbi. They're putting me there with them. Good stuff. I agree with everything they said. And then once you see the comments of these sections, like, oh, this is an anti-Semitic channel. They're like, look what the Jews are planning. Who do you think these Jews are? They're like, the Zionists. No, you see the crazy mishmash over here? And then I saw that same section.
We're not calling you Zionists. We're calling you rabbis. And this is Judaism. Oh, well, they called us Zionists, so we're still the good guys. Incredible.
All this is our sages and from the Torah, and I'm like, oh, wow. I'm not a rabbi. They're putting me there with them. Good stuff. I agree with everything they said. And then once you see the comments of these sections, like, oh, this is an anti-Semitic channel. They're like, look what the Jews are planning.
They're like, the Goyim are like, look at what they have planned for us. Look at what these rabbis are saying. You got a problem with them talking about ruling and conquering and destroying, and you're an anti-Semite. Shows the mindset.
And then once you see the comments of these sections, like, oh, this is an anti-Semitic channel. They're like, look what the Jews are planning. Who do you think these Jews are? They're like, the Zionists. No, you see the crazy mishmash over here? And then I saw that same section placed in another whole media thing, which I absolutely agree upon. We're talking about all the string pullers behind the scene. I agree with them 100%, but who's part of this problem? Let's see what the Zionists are doing. Same video clip with me in there. Like, dude, I'm sitting here in my office recording this, reading to you what it says in the Torah, but we're plotting to take over the world. Dummies. Really, dummies. No idea. Okay.
So you have a religion, you believe it's prophecy, you think it's going to unfold, you want to see it happen, you're saying it's everything we're showing in these clips is in the Torah and you want it, and then he says, you're crazy. You're crazy to see what they're saying and have a problem with it. Where's his argument?
Let's see what the Zionists are doing. Same video clip with me in there. Like, dude, I'm sitting here in my office recording this, reading to you what it says in the Torah, but we're plotting to take over the world. Dummies. Really, dummies. No idea. Okay, in any case, at the end of the day, Jews, the real Jews, we just want to be left alone. Seriously, leave us alone. Give us our books. We're here in the land. End of story. Just leave it. We don't need to take over the world. That's not.
Hey, leave us alone. Oh, watch, this is the best line. Hold on.
We're here in the land. End of story. Just leave it. We don't need to take over the world. That's not our job. Y'all are doing it just fine. We're not planning world domination, but we are called the people of the book for a reason. We are reading what God is going to do to the nations. God is going to do this to the nations. Nowhere does it say that we are going to do this to the nations.
That's not true. I've seen plenty of rabbis saying that they are the instrument, they are the battle axe, that it's the descendants of Jacob that will do this to the descendants of Esau. And he goes, the rabbis aren't plotting to world domination, but God's going to give us world domination. Well, your gods ain't real, and you're following the prophecies. You guys are doing it. They go, well, they just want to be left alone in your basement so you can fantasize about the vengeance and the destruction and the conquering of the nations with your Moshiach, your one world religion ruled by the Messiah.
Y'all are doing it just fine. We're not planning world domination, but we are called the people of the book for a reason. We are reading what God is going to do to the nations. God is going to do this to the nations. Nowhere does it say that we are going to do this to the nations.
Not true. Not true. But we got to save that for when we come across another clip or one of the old clips of them saying that it's Israel that does it. And it's so funny, though. It's like complete validation. He's watching our videos. Now he knows that he's being monitored. Maybe he'll change his rhetoric and keep things a little more private, not be so open about things. But he says he agrees with it. It's all from the Torah and that God's going to do it. But then tries to like dismiss us like, oh, you think we're Zionist in our little Kabbalah wizards, whatever. So great. So great. So funny. He noticed. The noticers become the noticed. He never called us liars. Laughing my ass off. Ben Stiller with a beard. Okay, we got some new hot clips from this Jew. I won't even call him a rabbi anymore. I guess he's just a Jew. He's a wannabe rabbi, maybe. It says America is Edom. And when Edom, Rome is built, Jerusalem cannot be built, and vice versa.
There's no argument that Europe was or is Esav, right? Esav, Edom. So today, Edom.
Not even an argument. They all agree it's not even an argument.
There's no argument that Europe was or is Esav, right? Esav, Edom. So today, Edom is America as well. But the Nazis are of Amalek. You know for a fact. You know this for a fact because you teach this in your yeshivas. America is Edom. I'm talking again, Orthodox Jews. So you are living currently in Edom. You know this, right? Don't take it from me.
So he lives in Israel. You'd think he's definitely from America. If he shaved the beard, he would just be like a normal guy almost. Might not even know he's Jewish. But then it's not even like they go, oh, it's just the most extreme rabbis, the craziest ones. Like this guy seems like most goyish wannabe rabbi out there. Amalek Defamation League for 5 says gaslight to the nation strikes again. Right.
As America is Edom. I'm talking again, Orthodox Jews. So you are living currently in Edom. You know this, right? Don't take it from me. Forget it. Take it from the most influential public figure in the world today. Publicly, the wealthiest, because privately there are trillionaires. Publicly, the wisest, because anyone who is to say what I'm about to share with you right now, their wisdom is questionable. And publicly, the most influential, trillionaires. He does have the ear of the next president. Elon Musk said the following, and I could not believe this. Thanks, Mike, for sharing this with me, okay? But it's nice to be vindicated. And I quote, America is new Rome. America was founded to be the true successor of ancient Rome.
See, he's quoting, just like I did in my video yesterday and months ago when Elon did the Rome tweets, He's saying even Elon and Trump are identifying America as Rome and Edom.
Vindicated. And I quote, "America is new Rome. America was founded to be the true successor of ancient Rome, but most don't know how deep the parallels run from its grid plans to its constitution. Here's why we still live in Rome."
I wish we were the new Roman Empire and were nothing to do with Judeo-Christianity.
And why it won't collapse this time, says Elon Musk. And then underneath he posts an image of the Roman's golden eagle with the branches on its side and its wings spread, right next to the seal of the United States of America, sprouting the same look. I wonder why he didn't also post the Nazis logo of the Third Reich, the golden eagle. It's Rome, but the same thing, right? Look at the colors are the same, we're going to say. It's identical. Then he posts SPQR. I had to look up this thing. SPQR, an initialism for Senatus Populus Romanus, the Senate and people of Rome, is an emblematic phrase referring to the government of the Roman Republic. Underneath that, someone posted a picture of the Romans burning down the temple in Jerusalem, carrying off the menorah. You can't make this stuff up. But thank you, Elon Musk, for everything that you have done. Psalms 137, 7 and 8. Remember, O Lord, the sons of Edom, the day of Jerusalem, those who say, raise it down to its foundation. Praiseworthy is he who repays your recompense that you have done to us, your country. We know very well, because we taught it here plenty of times, that when Edom, Rome, is built, Jerusalem cannot be built, and vice versa. They have no place in the world together. And so, since we do not have...
See, their religion is that we can't coexist. When one is up, the other must be down. And then they claim we're greatest allies when this is a major element of their theology.
What are the three things? The Shekhinah, right? Malchut Shamayim, Malchut Beit David, the establishment of the house of David, King Mashiach, and Beit HaMikdash. Jerusalem is not built, and therefore Rome must be built somewhere, where it is the world system today. Or in America, the new Rome.
America, the new Rome.
Are you not entertained?
Adam, check this AI on...
Is this not why you were here?
Elon Musk out. Okay, is this appropriate? Let's see.
Social media platform, get a Tesla to stay mobile, use Starlink for the best internet, post your opinion on my social media platform, get a Tesla to stay mobile, use Starlink for the best internet, and send money on my platform.
Whoa. Whoa. Creepy. Whoa. Nightmarish.
And of course, thanks to the taxpayers. Without you, this would have not been possible. Soon I'll be a trillionaire. You are my biggest supporters. I became Mr. Monopoly and the unelected Jewish president, thanks to 2/3 of my friends who are Jewish.
No, I have like 2/3 of my friends are Jewish. Okay? I have twice as many Jewish friends as non-Jewish friends. I'm like Jewish by association. I'm aspirationally Jewish. So I don't, I was like, what are people talking about with this anti-Semitism? Because I never hear it in dinner conversations. It's like an absurdity, at least in my friend circles.
Dude, I want to go see this movie. What a trailer. I would watch that. He's a Jewish Nazi. Exactly. Wow. I feel like I need a shower after that. That was creepy. The music, too. More from our buddy here. What's this guy's name? See through it all? Jews think Christians worship Satan.
Who is Rome?
They go, but the Jews hate Jesus. And we go like, yeah, we know. He's like the antagonist in Judaism, like the anti-Messiah. They see him as satanic. And then they go, oh, Adam just debunked himself and admitted that they hate Jesus. It's like, it's a love-hate. They see it as idolatrous, and Christians persecuted them and is satanic, blood-consuming, and violence, but yet it still Judaized the world and conquered the pagan ethnic gods of the nations. So here we go. Let's hear this.
Jews know. We know this, that the ministering angel of Esav, who is Edom, who is Rome, who is the Roman Empire, past and apparently present, who rebranded as the Roman Catholic Church along the way, who gave all the Christians their Bibles that they have read over the past 1,600 years. Yes, it came out of there. Who all of the 42,000 and counting denominations of Christianity in the world today read. They are all one and the same. And the ministering angel of all of this is, in fact, Satan himself. Jews know this. We learn this stuff. We learn a lot of things nobody else can.
See, this is their big secret. Esau, Edom, Christianity, Jesus is the antithesis to the Jews and Judaism. It's the Kabbalah dialectic, the dualistic dialectic. That is the Judeo paradigm.
Also, nobody else will. To us, Satan and Christianity are one and the same. For years, I've been teaching how 2.4 billion Christians are going to have an existential crisis when they realize who, in fact, their God is. That's why some of the sages call it deviant worship. In other words, I know you want to worship God, but that's not where your prayer goes. That's not who you're giving your life to. We know this is coming. In the end, everyone will call out to their God, and I guess we'll see who answers. But when 2.4 billion Christians, I need you to think about this, about a quarter of the population of the world find out that they were actually worshiping Satan this entire time, when something like that will be revealed to them, and they will know that it is the truth, think about the spiritual vacuum that it will cause, the kind of negative energy it will cause. Their hearts will be broken. Their world will be shattered. The destruction of Christianity, how's that going to look like? A large chunk, make no mistake, will lose their minds. They will lose their minds, and chaos and mayhem will ensue throughout the world.
He's going to say they're going to become Noahides. They're going to be mad at the Jews, and then the rest will be Noahides.
There's going to be crime and riots, theft, murder. We're talking about a full-on post-apocalyptic scenario.
Come on, Christianity's already been collapsing in America and Europe for decades, and that hasn't happened.
There's no God, right? And again, this is part of their plan. They need that chaos to then create their order out of that chaos. Those who are still in Christianity, believe Jesus and all that good stuff, this is the inevitable fall of Edom. We read about it. It's going to happen, right? When her cup runneth over. I'm looking at the lost 10 tribes to return primarily from there. Not to mention yet again that so long as Christianity exists, Israel can never be whole. That's why Christians and Jews, they cannot coexist. You might have a mutual respect, but it has to be completely destroyed for Judaism. And again, we are not the ones to do this. This is God's plan, and we're getting a confirmation from this man's plan. Once Jesus, this man-God idol, is removed from the equation, as it says in our prophecies. And
see, they got to remove the man-God, the Trinity, and then Christianity will be turned Noahide. That's the objective.
So in their plans, they will in fact be free and immediately return to the fold of Israel. Talking about the lost sparks that are within there. Now, I told y'all that this would be a hard pill to swallow, but like it or not, there's no way that this is not going to happen. It's already written. So brace.
It is written. The angel of death is the ministering angel of Esau of Christianity and the Christian world. Whole lot of vindication from the rabbis here, confirmations.
The Christians who will become both the Satanists and the Christians who will become Satan.
Oh, hold on. Optics Prime says a constitutional amendment has been filed that would allow President Trump to seek a third term in office. Is that right? You got to be kidding me. I'm going to look that up right now. I believe it, actually.
Both the Satanists and the Christians who will become Satanists, they both worship death or a dead man. Death, same thing. The cross is a symbol of death. Satan is also Malach HaMavet. He's the angel of death. You're making treaty of death.
It's true.
The angel of death is the ministering angel of Esau.
It's true about the constitutional amendment. Tennessee congressman proposes resolution creating a path for a third term for Trump. He's already going for it. He's going to be real old. He wants to do another term. Yo, Bowhunter 88 for 50. Thanks so much, man. The donos were getting pretty depressing so far. An hour in and basically nothing. Bowhunter88 says, I love the way they wash their hands of their crimes against us by saying God did it and not them. Sick bastards. Yeah. When their God doesn't exist and he's a figment of their imagination, then it's them doing it. It's not God's hidden hand. It's the influence from the words they attribute to God, obviously. MAGA wants to rewrite the Constitution to give Trump a third term. He talked a lot about that in some of his rallies. Thank you so much, Bowhunter, by the way.
Yes!
Appreciate you.
That's awesome.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Really needed that one. Really needed that one tonight. So, yeah, Trump had been teasing and talking about it and saying, oh, like, maybe I should have a more term because they messed with his other term. He deserves another one.
Of Christianity, the Christian.
They've been calling for. Remember the Jews at the Israel Heritage Foundation when he got the Torah Crown Award? Trump. They were chanting 100 more years, and they want this dynasty of Trump with Ivanka and Jared and Don Jr. and Barron. They're all calling for Barron to be president as well. Have a Trump dynasty.
world. You understand? And your treaty with death shall be nullified, and your limit with the grave shall not endure. When an overflowing scourge passes, you shall be trampled by it. There's only one way. There is literally only one way. It ain't their way. Zechariah 14:9. And the Lord shall become king over all the earth. On that day, the Lord shall be one, and his name one.
They don't want to rule the world, but their main prophecy is about God being king over all the earth. And the Christians aren't opposing that idea of Yahweh supremacy. In fact, they expanded it. In fact, they brought it to the world. They adopted that as their cause.
On what day? When you realize there is no other God but God. Ein od milvado. Christianity takes away the oneness of God because it tells them to pray to and through a different name. You say that that is divine. I say, I'll see you soon, honey, but this is not going to end well for you. This is how it's going to end, and only those who recognize this will remain. Don't worry, God is very, very fair. Everyone is going to get a chance before this happens. But
you see, they don't have a problem with the Goyim believing in the Noahides and the God of Israel and the Messiah. They just think it's wrong to believe the Messiah is God. And already, like Bart Ehrman, top Jesus gatekeeper, is all over writing books. How Jesus Became God is the title of his book. And there's all this anti-Trinitarian movements. That's all they got to fix, and it'll be kosher for them. Philo-Semitic, no Trinity, and it's kosher to the rabbis. And it served its purpose. As Maimonides said, the stepping stone preparing the nations for the Messiah.
I think that you're going to wait until the end and then join the winning team. We already went through that, and it's worse than dealing with the nations. We're talking about the Erev Rav. They waited to see, the Israelites, we're going to join the Israelites. We're going to leave Egypt with them. The Am Rav, Erev Rav, that's them. They're still among us, not doing us a solid over here. So who is pulling the strings of the powers that be? God, obviously. Our prophecies are their plans. They are paving the way, as they openly say, to a new world order. I know I'm going to get a tag underneath the video. George Bush Sr. is talking about a new world order. Bill Clinton, George Bush Jr. They're all talking about these things. Why am I a conspiracy theorist when they're the ones saying these things, for goodness sakes? And it just...
He's in the Moshiach New World Order video, which I got to play right now, if that's how he's going to be. Hold on. Maybe New World Order will just come up. Moshiach, New World Order, extended cuts. Here's the 2-minute version. Here's your Moshiach's New World Order.
When the Mashiach will come, there'll be a new world order.
In order for Mashiach to come, we cannot have any other governments. It's going to be one kingdom, one malchut, one government. So you can look at it in the negative aspect of saying a new world order, a one government. Yeah, you're right. It is going to be a new world order. The new world of Mashiach with one order, the Torah, one government. Yeah, it's going to be a Sanhedrin. We're not going to have all the rest of the stuff. The time of the entire planet is done.
For Mashiach to take over the world, don't forget, at a certain point, King Mashiach should be ruling the whole world. They themselves, the nations of the whole world, will ask him and beg him to take over their, at least the government, their government, to teach them the right way, to teach them how to live. The whole world will take him upon themselves as the leader. And then actually going to be a new world order, but not like those radical ones think. There's going to be a new world order, but the new world of God order.
Before Mashiach comes and a new world order is instituted, we need to destroy what existed previously, and we need a destruction of society and the world as we know it.
Every new reality means a total loss of the reality that came before it, referring to the coming of Mashiach and the new world order that comes with it, okay? In other words, for what is coming, what is has to be unrecognizable. Nothing can remain. None of the world systems can remain. Nothing will remain because it's rotten to the core.
The spiritual heirs of the Roman Empire is the Western world, United States of America, so the USA will last until Mashiach comes.
Someone has to completely destroy this world and its system before the new one comes in. You want your one world government? So does God, no problem.
God will abolish every government on earth and hand over control of the whole world to Mashiach.
Mashiach will be the king of the entire world. There will be a monarchy restored to the world. Mashiach will be king, and he will be accepted by both the nation of Israel and all the nations of the world alike.
You may be wondering why Hashem wants to destroy his world, why so much destruction, so much nuclear bombs and so forth. Before a new world is built, the old has to be destroyed.
You got a problem with that? You're an anti-Semite. You're Amalek. You'll be destroyed. Don't want to be a Noahide slave? You're Amalek. You'll be destroyed. I don't know about you guys, but Seems like something's going on over there with Judaism.
They're up to something over there. I can smell it.
Can you guys smell it?
This so happens to be God's plan as well, only it's his new world order. They will not succeed. He is allowing this to get to a certain point, obviously. Let them destroy all the other idols and idolatry in the world so that they are one, right? They control both narratives. God lets them do it. If Israel does what we're supposed to do, we are not part of this fight. We are separate from this. And then that's it. He's allowing it at a certain point. Let them dig their own graves. Now, who do you think is going to end up on top? Israel is above the stars, above the nations. We read this. We're not better than. We have a different job. Just leave us alone. We are the lot of God, as said in Jeremiah 46, 27, 28. You fear not, O Jacob, my servant, and be not dismayed, O Israel. For behold, I will redeem you from afar, and your children from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return and be quiet and at ease, and there shall be none who disturb his rest. You fear not, my servant Jacob, says the Lord, for I am with you, for I will make a full end of all the nations where I have driven you, because of what they did to you there. But of you I will not make a full end. In other words, not everybody's going to come out, but a remnant, right? But I will chastise you justly for everything that you've done, and I will not completely destroy you. Some will remain, whoever's in Israel.
Garrett Masterpiece McCluskey says, our favorite noticer historian Charles Giuliani has been dismantling evolution on his alternative science channel lately. Is that on YouTube? Is it called Alternative Science? Dismantling evolution, huh? I'm sure you like that, right, Garrett Masterpiece McCluskey? Why? Why? Is he just regurgitating all of the anti-science Christian creationist apologetics about evolution? All right.
To swallow, but like it or not, there's no way that this is not going to happen.
Okay, we watched that one. We have a serious Judaism problem, says See Through It All.
Shall be destroyed. There it is. Thus saith he. With that, the holy and blessed be he will show.
It's funny that, like, online, the Christian copers will say, Adam only talks about Christianity. Adam doesn't even talk about Jews and Judaism. Like, literally every single show, I'm playing rabbi clips. The only reason I even focus on Christianity is because it is Judaism. It's universal, messianic, apocalyptic Judaism for the Gentiles to make them Noahides and worship the God of Israel. The Christians are the ones that aren't opposing Judaism. They only oppose Jews because they're rejecting their version of messianic Judaism. They're all for Judaism. They believe Judaism before Christianity was the one true religion. They believe in the prophecies of Judaism. So ridiculous.
With that, the holy and blessed be he will show the might of his arm and his splendor to the whole world. By doing what with it exactly? By destroying all the sons of Esav, the Western world, Christianity, who have oppressed.
And it says the sons of Esau. So we're not talking metaphysical, symbolic Esau, Edom. We're talking descendants, sons, the nation.
All the sons of Esav, the Western world, Christianity, who have oppressed Tsarin on Israel, as well as all the sons of Ishmael, the Arab world, Islam, who are his enemies, Oyev, as said in Micah 5:8. So we have Tsarin, oppressors, and Oyevim, enemies, okay? These two. Esav is the oppressor, enemy is Ishmael. Micah 5:8 says, your hand, whole hand, shall be raised above your oppressors, Esav, and all your enemies, Ishmael, shall be destroyed. There it is. Thus saith the Lord. So guess what? It's going to happen. This is an interesting verse because it speaks of...
They put so much confidence in these prophecies. And they have so much confidence these prophecies are going to unfold because the Christians and Muslims are going along with the script and the blueprint. And we know how this book ends. It's not good. And the Jews have no concern or worry whatsoever about Jesus returning and destroying and conquering and throwing them, casting them into the lake of fire. Not even the slightest bit of concern or worry at all.
Of the two other religions, they came out of the loins of Abraham and then Isaac. which is why Jacob was called Israel.
Came from the Jews.
As all who came from his loins were good and shall remain good, meaning exclusively from Jacob. That's why Edom and Ishmael are the leaders of the 70 nations, because they came from his bloodline. That's the only reason they got to where they are. Whenever it uses, and again, in this world, because they have no world to come. So that's why they got everything because of Zchut Avot, because of the merit of their fathers.
See, the Gentiles' Western civilization has no share in the world to come.
It's the only reason they got to where they are. Whenever it uses, and again, in this world, because they have no world to come. So that's why they got everything because of Zchut Avot, because of the merit of their fathers. So whenever it uses the term oppressor and enemy, you know it is speaking of these two, both in the past, present, and of course future. Even though they were only invented between 1700 and 1400 years ago, both these religions, their root, the root of Esav.
Christianity was not created 1700 years ago. It was 2000 years ago. He's ignoring like the first 3 centuries of Jewish Christianity and acting like Christianity started with Esau and Rome in the Council of Nicaea. It didn't. It's not when it started.
And Ishmael were around beforehand, the spiritual root. Lamentations 4:12, what does it say? The kings of the earth did not believe, nor all the inhabitants of the world, that a foe and enemy, tsar ve'oyev, oppressor and enemy, could enter the gates of Jerusalem. This has happened again and again and again until this very day, and will soon, once more, it'll happen once again, when God will obliterate them right here in Jerusalem, the city of judgment. That's why he's going to bring them all to Jerusalem. You wanted to take Jerusalem? This is where you will fall.
Don't go to Jerusalem. Notice how he cites the Torah, Christians. Yes, the Talmud is bad, but without the Talmud, they still have plenty of scripture to justify their supremacy to themselves. I was thinking about this the other day, a hypothetical. Even if the Torah or the Talmud never existed, there would still be the Messianic Torah conspiracy and anti-Gentile and chosen status, and all of the key elements of Judaism are all still there in the Torah. These stupid Christians online will say, Adam only talks about Christians. He doesn't even talk about Judaism and Jews. I do it way more than anybody else, and I actually criticize the Torah. These Christians won't even criticize the Torah. They think it's the word of God. They affirm Hebrew scriptures. With textbook controlled opposition, when you won't oppose the whole foundation of Judaism. A day of Hashem approaches on all the nations of Edom. Oh, by the way, I don't know if any of you guys, I mean, you're not sending me any crypto, so if you guys have crypto, See Through It All says he's going to either has or he's going to set up a wallet, and I'm going to share that. I'm going to put that in the description below. And you guys should definitely chip in and support See Through It All for all of these great clips. He's got the rabbis on notice. He's exposing the Ortho Bros, exposing all the kosher Christians, exposing all of the rabbis' prophetic agenda. I'm going to send him some money, a nice, good gift. And I encourage you guys all to also.
So he says in the future that if you look objectively at who were the 3 biggest financial backers of Hamas via UNRWA, the 3 biggest are the United States, the European Union, and Iran. And guess where Iran got those funds from? So you see that the West were the biggest supporters of Hamas. UNRWA, as a branch of the UN being the representation of Esav, they're located on Esav turf. 4 of the 5 veto power countries are Esav Edom countries, and the 5th one is China, but like Yishmael doesn't have a say at all. The UN and UNRWA are both Edom institutions. So one Edom institution, the United States, sent money to another Edom institution, UNRWA, and a big portion of those funds went straight to, 25% goes straight to Hamas for taxes. The US gave UNRWA more than $2 billion since Biden became president, $1 billion until October 7th, and another $1 billion since. And then what happens with all the money? Like all the aid, Hamas just steals the truck, steals the aid, sells it on the market, and then uses that money to arm themselves and whatever, right? You chose to send them the funding that enabled October 7th. And so the Bnei Yissaschar spells us out, because this is what Edom always does. This is what Edom did by the destruction of the temple, where they kind of like sat on the sidelines and they're like, what? I'm just here for the show. I didn't do anything, you know? And like when the Babylonians showed up and they're like, hey, you guys know any shortcuts into town? And, you know, like, you know, any secret entrances? And then it'd be like that point, but they pretend like they're scratching, like, what? I'm scratching, you know, like that. See, the problem is that after the temple's destruction, like we weren't in a position to hold them accountable. So he says in the future, there's going to be an event where they're going to, behind the scenes, cause this Hamas against the Jewish people, and they're going to be publicly exposed for their role, for the role that they played in it. And he says...
He thinks that Esau and the West is going to be connected to Hamas in October 7th.
For a day of Hashem approaches on all the nations of Edom, precisely how they dealt with the Jewish population throughout history is precisely how they are going to themselves be treated in the end of days. And he gives this example of a giant goblet. And every time an Edomite nation caused pain against the Jewish people, the blood, so to speak, from that pain was extracted and dripped into this goblet. And then in the end of days, each nation will be forced to drink its goblet, and they will be destroyed exactly the way they tried to destroy the Jewish people. It says that they'll drink, they'll become consumed, and they'll be as if they never were. And so the Gemara explains that it doesn't mean that they're all going to be annihilated. It means that the evil ones are going to be annihilated, the good ones are going to remain, but the evil part of the Western culture will be wiped out.
That's heavy.
Very heavy.
Very heavy. Very heavy.
Help me, Jesus! Help me, Jewish God!
The evil of Western civilization that persecuted the Jews is going to drink the blood and be destroyed. But it's God going to do it. Don't blame the Jews and them all talking about this obsessively nonstop. It's God, so don't worry about it, Goyim. You're an anti-Semite if you have a problem with their 2,000-year revenge fantasy.
Look
a day of Hashem approaches on all nations of Edom, he says. Now here's the new one from... I think this is after the election, the Rabbi Yitzhak Shapira talking about Trump in office and Edom being destroyed. Another see-through-it-all edit.
And I'm not saying that Donald Trump is the anti-Messiah. I'm not saying this. What I am saying to you is that, as you're going to see with me in a moment, God...
Oh, hold on. Before we play this, so he's hinting as Trump as the anti-Messiah, like the Antichrist, which he definitely was. Covey Killer Clown says, Adam, knowing this info, how does one stay happy even if all this doesn't come true? Most of the planet believes is such nonsense. Streaming about it all and seeing your comments and seeing you guys get it and having the support of the community, that makes me happy. My daughter makes me happy. You know, lots of stuff in the world makes me happy. But it is depressing and blackpilling having all these lying, coping Christians in denial and not getting it and slandering and lying. That's true. But, I mean, there's plenty of... going to the gym makes me happy. Being with my wife, eating good food. You know, nature. My daughters. Nothing makes me happier than seeing my daughters happy. I'd say that. Hanging out with friends. Joking around with friends. Covey Killer Khan also says, Charles Giuliani has a great voice, but he is... That's not very nice. That's not very nice. I may not agree with him on everything, but I don't want to talk trash like that from a comment. Covey Killer. Base Maternal Rage says, Baldur's blessing. Thank you to Mrs. No More News for your support and patience. Yes. She's been very supportive and patient with me. Trust me. Garrett Masterpiece McCluskey again. You've been great tonight. Garrett, appreciate you. Says, assuming Charles Christendom Giuliani is using Christian apologetics, you're better than that, bro. And his alternative science channel is on Odyssey. Sorry to be off topic. I'll leave it at that. It's weird. If you start up like an alternative channel about science, you'd think you'd try to have that on YouTube, but maybe he got banned from YouTube or just didn't want to bother trying to build up another YouTube account. But I'll check it out, but I can almost guarantee you it's going to be the same intelligent design, Christian creationism, anti-evolution arguments. Evolution's a fact, guys. I will die on that hill.
And I'm not saying that Donald Trump is the anti-Messiah. I'm not saying this. What I am saying to you is that, as you're going to see with me in a moment, God allowed him to be in the office because he is ushering right now the redemption, and he's using as a tool that will lead the entire world into Gog and Magog. Yeah, you heard me.
So Trump is a tool of the Jews to lead Edom into destruction with the end times war. Isn't that lovely? Thank you, Rabbi. Very nice.
Correctly this morning. God is going to be using Donald Trump administration to lead Israel and the entire world into Gog and Magog.
Stop yelling at me, Rabbi.
We have to understand it, friend.
Why is he yelling?
15 years ago. And it is happening right now. Israel will not say no to Esau. Remember the Torah portion, brothers and sisters, when Yaakov saw Esau and he had everything. What did he call Esau? He says, my master. For Israel, you have to understand, our master is not Hashem. Our master is God. The master of Israel is, the master of Israel is America. We need to understand it today. And those who want to be masters over Israel, like United States of America, I would be very worried. I will be very concerned for United States of America right now. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? In essence, what the message that came from the United States of America to Israel is the message, give it up. Give the power to Doha. Who is Doha? Give the power to Qatar. How can we give the power to Qatar when Qatar is the one who financed Hamas? Do you understand how rigged this thing is? And don't tell me that this administration is good. This administration is coming in the day that it's also corrupt, because we let the one who financed Hamas for 20 years to be the chief negotiator. And here the United States of America is coming and saying, oh, give the power to Qatar. Bibi, give the power to Qatar. Let me tell you what happened. Bibi cracked. Bibi cracked. It was too much for him to handle, and he cracked. And the cracking came as a direct result of the United States of America. I want you to know, and I don't care if people don't want to hear the truth. This is the truth, and we need to know the truth, so we will not bow down to Baal. From page 95 to page 111, I wrote about this. I wrote about this not because I'm so smart, because the rabbis of Israel wrote about this. And they say, when a king will come and he will convince Israel to make a peace with the Saudi king, meaning Abraham Accord, you will know. Listen to me. You will know that it is the time of finality for Gog and Magog. We have just received the greatest sign that we are entering to the final stage of Gog and Magog, and nothing can change it. Listen to this.
Dude, they're so excited for the end times war where Edom in the West is destroyed.
Epic ceasefire agreement could...
But it's just God that's doing it, though. They're not edging us towards that. They're not inciting it. They're not in the middle of all of this, instigating any of it. No. It's just God doing it all. Don't blame them. They only obsessively, like zealots want it to happen, but they would never work towards it. They would never actively try to hasten the Messiah. Yes, they would. Of course they would.
Could have happened as a result of our historic victory. This is a quote, brothers and sisters, from Trump administration. The epic ceasefire agreement could have only happened as a result of our historic victory in November, as it signaled the entire world that my administration would seek peace and negotiate deals to ensure the safety of all American and our allies. Wait a second. Safety of all American and the allies. What about the safety of Israelis? What about the safety of Israel? Do you see Trump mention the safety of Israel? No, he doesn't mention the safety of Israel.
Trump's not talking about Israel enough? Rabbi, he's literally yelling that Trump doesn't talk about the safety of Israel. What is he talking about? He does all the time. All the time. Look at he's seething mad. This guy's...
would seek peace and negotiate deals to ensure the safety of all
He's doing lines of coke.
Wait a second. Safety of all
before he does these videos.
What about the safety of Israelis? What about the safety of Israel? Do you see Trump mention the safety of Israel? No, he doesn't mention the safety of Israel because it's not about Israel. And everybody should know about it. It's about his administration. And when you say America first, he meant America first. It's not about Israel. And all of us...
Oh, sure. Yeah, he really meant America first. I believe that. So funny. Adderall? Dude, the cocaine rabbi, for sure.
You understand this. Right now, this deal that's signed will stand. And why it will stand because this king, who is infected by Edom, according to the rabbis, will force, just like we saw the language, force Israel, and if not force, manipulate Israel into false peace agreement. They will look good. They will sound good. But guess what?
It's exactly what I've been saying. They're going to blame Trump as betraying Israel for trying to make peace in the Middle East. He'll be dividing the land of Israel. He'll be turning his back on Israel and the promised land. They're not supposed to make any covenant with it. All of the predictive programming has been going down to condition Christians that if America betrays Israel, if America divides the Holy Land and makes a peace agreement with the terrorist Arabs, that God will bring his wrath on Edom and America. That's going to be the angle. That will be the betrayal.
This next round of signing agreements, and they're coming, with the Saudis, will bring world war. Final third world war. You can remember what I'm telling you now. I don't know how many more broadcasts like that I will be allowed to give you, but you remember this, that you will get yourself ready. And I'm sorry that I'm sounding apocalyptic this morning, but I am telling you the signs before us. I want to quote from my own book, the things that I wrote 15 months ago. This is straight from the Rabbis, page 98 to 111, and I quote
straight from the Rabbis.
This is not Rabbi Shapira. The year that King Mashiach is revealed, all the king of the world and the nation are provoking each other. Check. The king of Persia, Iran, provoked the Saudi king. Check. What did Iran said? Iran said, Saudi Arabia, if you make a deal with Israel, we will attack you. You following that? It is happening. It is coming before us. And the Arab king go to Edom, U.S., to take advice from them. The king of Persia destroyed the entire world, and the rest of the nation are scared and choke and fall on their face, and they suffer like a woman in a birth pain. Israel will be scared on these days, shaking. They will be confused, and they will ask, where can we go? Then God tell them, my sons, do not be afraid. And all that I did was just for you. In October 7, I released already. Immediately, 3 days, in 3 days, I wrote the new Hamas. Then I wrote this. I warn you, it's been out for so long. And I told you, when you see peace agreement between Israel and Saudi Arabia, you will know that the house of cards is about to collapse. It's about to collapse, and it's about to collapse, and it's going to be so.
And Trump already said Saudi Arabia is going to join the Abraham Accords. Drum and Bass World says, listening to him is difficult. He's so insane and annoying. That might be an understatement.
So swift and so fast and so furious. Right now, also, if you pay attention, Iran just signed a big agreement with Russia. It is coming to this. What will happen is Saudi Arabia will sign a deal with Israel. Iran will not let it happen. At this point, they more than likely will have a nuclear weapon, which they're very, very close to. And that will be the triggering of Gog and Magog. Now, everything in prophecy, human action can change the course, but I am telling you at least where we at right now and what I am seeing right now before myself. Look what I wrote in page 111. Based on the clear fact presented, it is clear why Hamas and Iran will do everything in their power to stop the peace agreement. The peace agreement between Saudi Arabia and Israel that the United States will broker. Look at this. I spoke about this a year and a half ago. Are you kidding me?
I was saying this shit 8 years ago, Rabbi. Stop tooting your own horn.
In the ultimate, in the final stage of Gog and Magog. Look at this. The Midrash explain that Iran respond to the world. Persia destroy the entire world. Will cause this thing to happen. The Abraham Accord, although they appear like a good thing right now, they represent only the remnant of the house of Ishmael, as I explained. This is the remnant. Yeah, there's going to be a remnant from the house of Ishmael that will be spared. But that is the remnant. The other will turn against Israel because of the Abraham Accord. Look at this. There is something demonic behind it. As Saudi Arabia peace treaty in the future will trigger the final word. This is exactly what Trump is aiming into. Our sages describe this word that will leave Israel scared and overwhelmed before the Mashiach appearance. Wow. What an amazing thing it is. Yeah, it's exactly what it is. In the parasha this Shabbat we read, and it says, a new Pharaoh arise. I was thinking about the exact same thing. A new Pharaoh arise that did not know Yosef. A new Trump is arise right now.
Really?
No. The God of Israel. May he know the God of Israel. I pray that he will. I am not sure about this at this point, and I am sure that what is happening right now is controlled and manipulated by the Sarim.
The Satan? Sarim? Wow.
And I'm not saying.
Well, Rabbi is pumped for the destruction of Edom, and Trump as the instrument of the God of Israel to destroy Edom and get their vengeance.
But to partake in them as Jews, because that is our. How beautiful is the King Mashiach who will arise from the house of Yehudah. He has girded his loins and descended and arrayed the battle against his adversaries, slaying kings with their rulers. Neither is there any king or ruler who shall stand before him. The mountains become red with the blood of their slain. His garments dipped in blood are like the outpressed juices of grapes. This is from Isaiah, yeah?
Isaiah
How
63.
beautiful are the eyes of the King Mashiach as the pure wine. He cannot look upon what is unclean. That's why everything that is unclean in the world will be gone. Everything that is unclean, every lie.
So all the Kelly pot, the souls of Amalek, anybody that opposes them will be gone.
God, it's all going to be exposed and expelled, dealt with, exterminated, unless we do it now. Nor on the shedding of the blood of the innocent. Every person that he is going to take out, they are not innocent, right? He doesn't touch the innocent. Brothers and sisters, we have so much to look forward to. We have a chance not only to witness these prophecies coming true, but to partake in them as Jews, because that is our purpose. That is our responsibility towards God and the rest of his creation as well. As said in Zechariah 8, so said the Lord of hosts, there will yet be a time that peoples and the inhabitants of many cities shall come. This is after all the abominations and all the falsities and false messiahs and false religions. Everything is gone. What are all the people going to do? And the inhabitants of one shall go to another, saying, let us go to pray before the Lord and to entreat the Lord of hosts. I too will go. And many peoples and powerful nations shall come to entreat the Lord of hosts. Where? In Jerusalem. And to pray before the Lord. So says the Lord of hosts, in those days when 10 men of all the languages of the nations shall take hold of the skirt of a Jewish man, saying, let us go with you, for we have heard that God is with you. Be proud in whose name you carry. My fellow Jews, prepare for this time. It is upon us. Prepare yourselves, my fellow Jews, and make it so. How beautiful it.
Here's a song of Israelis on like Good Morning America, Israel. Good Morning Israel, singing about Trump. Jerusalem's Prince? Super Trump, Jerusalem's Prince? Fights like a lion, like the lion of the tribe of Judah. The whole world standing against him. That's their prophecies. Look at what Elon just tweeted. He's tweeting the Austrian Schwarzenegger doing his salutes. You got to pose like this, very strong. The big guy comes in his bigger muscles and he puts it up like this. Like the Prince of Peace Award that they gave him, the Chabadnik at the Israel Heritage Foundation. For our Lord, he fights like a lion. Think about how radicalizing this is for the kids. Batshit crazy. Amazing. Uh-oh. What's this one? Oh, okay, we played that one. Here's one of the mixes from See Through It All.
Follower. It has to do with your Christian heritage, which our Savior was a Jew, and the Jews are God's chosen people.
Thank God for America's Christians. And Maimonides said if it weren't for Christians, the world wouldn't know about the Torah. So
nothing Zionists hate more than Christians, right? Top Zionists in America. Thank God for Christians. Top Zionist in America, Ben Shapiro. You need to go to church. He has no problem with Christ is King. Holiday Fairchild. Hello, Holiday. Thank you. $20 says, Adam, you're wonderful and much needed and appreciated. That's so sweet of you, Holiday. I've never seen Holiday donate before. Very nice to see you. Adam, you are wonderful and much needed and appreciated, but take a little break and read David Icke's latest book. If I'm taking a break, it's to finish my book before I'm reading any other books. David Icke's latest book, The Reveal, might not be a good time to tell you this information, bringing new children into this shithole we are in, but you have read it. But you have to read it. I will. I'd like to interview Icke again. I've got a whole bunch of books in the queue to read and listen to once I'm finished with my book. I can't wait to do it.
Our Savior.
Thank
was
you,
a Jew,
Holiday.
and the Jews are God's chosen people.
Thank God for America's Christians. And Maimonides said if it weren't for Christians, the world wouldn't know about the Torah. So I'm a big Christian fan.
As a sect from Judaism, it's a breakaway of Judaism. So the question is, what's with this Christianity business? How it's clearly people are being led to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob from it.
Christian is a person who is not Jewish, who has turned to the God of Israel, who worships the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and has come to know the God of Israel through the Jewish Messiah. I mean, Lee, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Are you Jewish?
No.
But you're a Christian?
Yes.
Do you follow the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob?
Yes.
See, you're a Gentile Christian. That means the word Christ means Messiah. Christian means follower of. You are a follower, a Gentile follower of the Jewish Messiah who has brought you into a right relationship with the God of Israel, the God of my fathers. And I rejoice in that because that's what the promise of God was to our Jewish people when we came out of Egypt. He said he would make us a Kohanim to the nations, that he would allow us to bring the message of the God of Israel to all nations. And that's what we have done. Okay. And all of the Gentile Christian world is evidence of that Jewish mission to all the world. The fundamental theology that
Christians are evidence of the Jewish mission to the world, says Rabbi Rosenberg. Do Christians do we need to play that one again for the Christians in the back in denial?
And I rejoice in that because that's what the promise of God was to our Jewish people when we came out of Egypt. He said he would make us a Kohanim to the nations, that he would allow us to bring the message of the God of Israel to all nations. And that's what we have done. Okay. And all of the Gentile Christian world is evidence of that Jewish mission to all the world. The fundamental theology that Yeshua is the promised Jewish Messiah is something that all Christians in the world believe. But they believe in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That is Jewish theology. All Christians have Jewish theology or they couldn't be a Christian.
True. All Christians have Jewish theology.
In fulfillment of the prophet Ezekiel and Isaiah, you rise up as a nation from the nations and you call the God of Israel blessed. And there's a reason why evangelical Christians support Israel. It's because they are a part of the Judeo-Christian faith. They believe in the God of Israel. They believe in the God of our fathers.
Christianity spread knowledge of the Torah, knowledge of the Bible, and all the ideas and the stories that are in it. They spread it to the whole world. The reason the whole world knows about the 10 Commandments and the 6 days of creation and the Exodus from Egypt and Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the reason that billions of people around the world know about this is not because the Jewish people taught the world. It's because the Christians taught the world all about this. And the Rambam says that because they've spread knowledge of our Torah, knowledge of the Bible to the whole world, at the end, when...
Look at this one. Spotted on a Toyota Camry. Christian's boss is a Jewish carpenter. So based in Red Pill. Nothing the Jews hate more than having your boss be a Jew. What else we got? Catholic E-Crusaders.
All human beings under one into one.
Here's the based masculine Catholic.
So ultimately the plan is to bring all human beings under one into one kingdom. But he's got to start somewhere, and he starts with the Jewish people. And as we note in the Catholic Church.
So he started with the Jews for the Jewish kingdom, with the Jewish Messiah, all under one kingdom of the world.
So ultimately the plan is to bring all human beings under one into one kingdom. But he's got to start somewhere, and he starts with the Jewish people. And as we note in the Catholic Church, the Jewish people remain God's chosen people. Now, all those who are baptized.
What was that? What was that? What does the Catholic Church teach?
In the Catholic Church, the Jewish people remain God's chosen people. Now,
all these Christians want to argue with us. It's like, what is their main argument, basically? If you boil down all of the argument, they say magical Jewish prophecies are real. We say magical Jewish prophecies are not real. They're fake and Jewish and a spell to brainwash us. All Christians argue on behalf of Jewish theological supremacy. Siamese Tater, like a tater tot, Siamese Tater, says, as a happily married man with a 2-year-old son who I cherish, I appreciate how much you love your family. They are true, precious escape from this clown world. Of course. I don't see how anybody couldn't love their family. Fathers that abandon their kids, like the kids are the best thing in the world.
The Jewish people. And as we note in the Catholic Church, the Jewish people remain God's chosen people. Now, all those who are baptized get to be part of God's family. But with the coming of the Messiah, Jesus Christ, the Jewish people did not cease to be the chosen people of God. He chose them because he loves them. He loves the Jewish people. So ultimately, the plan is to bring all human beings under one, into one.
Catholic e-crusaders, so embarrassed, hiding away in the trees. Check out Watch the Collapse. Is Watch the Collapse still in the chat? He saw a street preacher, a doomsday preacher. Jesus will return, flaming fire. Are you ready?
Jesus was
and listen to what he says. I literally think I said that, like, you guys should go talk to these people and say Jesus is fake and Jewish and see what they say. And Watch the Collapse went and did it. Watch this. This is so funny. Perfect thing to say to one of these doomsday street preachers.
Jesus was fake and Jewish. Why do you want Jesus to conquer the Goyim? Thank you very much.
The $1 million question, right? Hey, Christians, why do you want Jesus to conquer the Goyim? Hey, Christians, why do you want the King of the Jews and the Jewish Messiah and the Davidic king to conquer the Gentiles? Huh? Why?
I read about it in a book.
Written by Jews. How funny is that? Total W.
Jesus was fake and Jesus was fake and Jewish. Why do you want Jesus to conquer the Goyim? Thank you very much. We need to ditch these fake Jewish myths.
So true.
Embrace your white ancestors.
I don't know if he's white. Maybe. That's the type of activism that we like to see. What does he say here?
Bow down to the God of Israel, who wants the Goy to bow down to the God of Israel. We're going to go talk to him.
Oh, and you went and talked to him. He says, after you went to the range, went back and talked to this guy for about an hour, going to highlight clips from... Oh, you recorded the whole thing too? Awesome. Interesting conversation and a really nice guy. I told him to check out your channel and Neil's. I think you mean Gnostic Informant. He'll be green pilled in no time. Dude, you green pill the doomsday street preacher, that would be a total victory. So awesome. I need to go out and do this. What I have done it before. I have a recording. I got to go find it. But like, especially the, they have the little booths for the Jehovah's Witness booths that like at the library and public places. Or also, I've ditched the fake myths. Pretty epic. It's funny. When I watched him say that, what? Hey, Christians, why do you want all the Goyim to bow down to the Jewish God? I laughed so hard when I heard that.
Goyim. Jesus to conquer the Goyim. Why do you want Jesus to conquer the Goyim?
That's the question we should be asking all the Christians. How are you going to criticize the rabbis for wanting their Moshiach to conquer the Goyim and rule the world if Christians want their Moshiach to conquer the nations and rule the world? Right? Oh, Watch the Collapse is here. 45-minute talk. I can't wait to see what he says. I can imagine it's really good. I need to go do this again. I also been thinking about going into churches and interviewing pastors and priests and asking them questions that show that these LARPer e-crusaders online are full of shit and don't represent Christianity, real Christianity, all the churches of the world at all. So nice work. Interesting meme here. So you got the dumb. Jesus was a brown Jew, preached against white nationalism at the low IQ score at the bell curve. And on the other side, the extreme smarts, you got Jesus was a brown Jew that preached against white nationalism. So both extremes get it. And then up here in the middle, the bell curve, the sheep normies, no, Jesus, mob-based rabbi, was totally white and racist. We was the real Israelites in shit, cracker. We're the new Israel. We have the birthright now. We're the chosen people now. Saxons means Isaac's sons. No, it doesn't. If you don't worship the God of the Jews, you're a Jew. Nice new meme of the bell curve showing who gets it. Well done. We'll cover the alien disclosure shit later. Let's go back. Let's see. 3 more minutes in the show. Rabbi Khan admits Rome, Christianity was a spiritual weapon against Rome. They couldn't win on the battlefield, so they engaged in theological warfare with an infiltrating cult, a Trojan horse, to conquer the pagan ethnic gods of the Gentiles.
Earth that started in Jerusalem. Peter goes to Caesarea, the seat of Roman power by the sea. And there he brings in the first Gentile to be baptized in the faith, who happens to be a Roman centurion. So now, though Rome destroyed Jerusalem, now Jerusalem is going to transform Rome. The kingdom of God touching the kingdom of man. Isaiah's prophecy, the word shall go forth from Zion. There's only one faith on the earth that started in Jerusalem and touched the world, and that is the gospel. That is the new covenant. Even Moses, the faith of, it's all one faith, but even the covenant didn't start in Jerusalem, it started in Sinai. Only in Messiah will the word of Israel go forth to the world. I remember, I've spoken to Orthodox Jews and tell them when they say, I said, if Jesus or Yeshua is not the Messiah, then why is it, how could it be that the God of Israel has spread his word, has spread the Bible, has spread the Psalms and the prophets and the Torah to all the earth in the name of him? If he's a false Messiah, there's no way the God of Israel is going to allow that to happen. A new power goes forth into the world. And the empire of Rome tries to stop it, tries to fight this spiritual power that came from Jerusalem. And so they start persecuting. It's like Rome conquered Jerusalem with weapons, earthly weapons, but now Jerusalem's going to conquer Rome with spiritual weapons.
Jerusalem conquered Rome with spiritual weapons. Such a great clip. I think I'm due for a new compilation of all the best highlights from See Through It All's incredible work. Here's another one. Gentiles. The Orthodox priest says Gentiles are Noahides. We're going to skip some of these Noahide videos. We'll put in a compilation. We're going to wrap it up here. Liam T. Jarrett says, It is a Jewish trap is to have us too jaded to bring children in. Yeah, that's what they teach you in Christianity. The end is near, so woe to the women that have young children or are pregnant. No, we're not going to not have families and try to thrive just because we have a death cult dominating our culture. William T. Jarrett says, it is a Jewish trap that is to have us too jaded to bring children in. No share in the world to come for us. Forget about it. Have the most children and teach them. Yep. Have as many children as you can. White Supreme Pizza for $35, getting us close to the goal of 200. Chosen for 19. Okay, we'll read that in a second. Hold on. White Supreme Pizza says, my wife and I never liked these Abrahamic religions. You, Adam, was a big piece in helping us put the puzzle together. We sincerely thank you for all your work. Keep it up. That is so beautiful. I love hearing that my material and my videos have helped free people from the Abrahamic spell. Love it. Love it. I'm not the only one that feels like I'm taking crazy pills with this Abrahamic death cult all around us. Why is my shit cutting out? Thank you so much for the 35 White Supreme Pizza. Great to hear. Thank you for sharing that and supporting. Let's go. We got a couple more here. Let's get Trump. Trump in charge of the world. Trump's world up here while we read these last few. Chosen 1977 for 5 says, thank you for everything, Adam. I've been following you since YouTube days. My question is, how did the Palestinians treat you when you went to Palestine? They were wonderful. Such great Palestinian food, and talked with like some of the major people in the capital of Palestine. It was really heartbreaking and sad to hear their stories and how desperate they were to try to help get the word out about the reality of how they've been treated by Israel. But never did I ever feel, unwanted or in danger or hated. Not even once. So, yeah, they were great. My Palestinian friends that I know in the United States, too, are incredibly nice. Although if they heard me talking about Jesus, peace be upon him, they might get a little offended, unfortunately. All right, we had like over 500 people watching all nights on Rumble. It'd be nice if just a couple more of you could chip in with 5 or 10, make everything a lot better. Let's see. Huge shout out to, and just to participate with the show. I want to hear your comments. Watch the Collapse, Optics Prime. Huge shout out to Bo Hunter and Garrett McCluskey, Covey Killer Clown, Bass Maternal Rage, Drum and Bass World, Holiday Fairchild, thank you so much. Liam, of course, as always. White Supreme Pizza. Neanderthalian, did my super chat get skipped? Let me see. See, what happens is I scroll up all the way and I don't see it. Tomcat Smith says, here's some more support, bro. It's not a lot, but I hope it helps. Yeah, I understand. I wish I can donate only $1 a month. All right. Well, if you guys can't help financially to support the streams, the best way to help, create accounts, clip the show, share the compilations of the rabbis, educate yourselves, educate others, spread awareness about the show, try to wake other people up, your family, your friends, anybody that you can talk to. And you guys are doing a great job, especially on Twitter. You guys are dominating on Twitter and the replies. You're dominating in the spaces. Yes, you can end Christianity. I'm down with that. Actually, no, that's never mind. I don't know if I can say that. Not a good idea. End Christianity. Sorry. 10 minutes, like 30 minutes ago, dude, it's not showing up. I don't know how to. It always does this to me. Doc chat. Enable slow chat. It gives me no option to see. And it's not showing up on Rumble. What are these things? Okay. I apologize. What did you say, Neanderthalian? I'm looking at the chat right now. Just say it again, and your next comment I will read. And we're going to play the Feel Like Adam Green. It's okay as long as you got the money. I don't know that I did. Felted. Shiitake. Oh, yeah, you can send me some lion's mane. That sounds good. Good for the brain. All right. You don't want me to read the comment, Neanderthalian? You sure? Because I got my eye glued to the Rumble rant right now. Garrett McCluskey says, Odin may bless you. Thank you, Odin. And Nietzsche and Werewolf got us a 30 over the goal. You guys always come through. See through it all for 10. Hey, real quick, can you touch on Augustine, how he protected Jews as a witness to the truth of Christianity over paganism? Since you sent in 10, I'll do it, but I'm going to do that another day. I had a couple of your videos lined up in a stream tabs that are saved talking about Augustine. I didn't cover that the other day, but I knew in my head today, I was like, there's something I didn't cover that I wanted to cover. That'll be on the next stream. unless the next stream is about anti-Christianity in Germany, which it very, very likely, maybe tomorrow, if not, definitely one of my next streams. And it's probably going to be 2 streams. It's going to have to be a part 1 and part 2 on the Volkish spirit info. Watch the Collapse says, fucking I'm broke, but I love you, man. Keep it up. Thank you, Watch the Collapse. Great job recording that Street Preacher today. Great content. Love to see it. See through it all. I'm sorry, I can't read all this. I have to go pee so bad and wrap up the stream. But I thank you for reminding me about the Augustine thing. I've got a quote in one of my books about Augustine also, protecting Judaism. So, sorry, but I cannot read that right now, but I will bookmark it and save it. Love you all. See through it all. Get that wallet up so people can support, so I can send you a thank you. And I love you all. Please share the links, because we're trying to save America. We're trying to free ourselves from the chains of Yahweh, free our families and our nations from the spell that they've been hypnotized under of the Judeo prophecies, and save and thrive, save the West and have it thrive, freeing ourselves from the Judeo death cult. And another 50 from Bo Hunter. Thank you so much, Bo Hunter. You're incredible. It means so much, man. Thank you. I'm able to support my family. Thanks to Bo Hunter and all the rest of you. Hail, Adam. Great stream again, brother. Thank you. Thank you, Bo Hunter. You're the man. Love you all, everybody. Have a nice night, and I will see you again very soon. Take care and enjoy the music video, I Feel Like Adam Green.
Mama raised me to be a Christian believer, but mama also raised me a seeker. She never held back the good, bad, and ugly from me. I heard it all, so I started wondering. After a long time of fighting myself, I saw a post and it said exactly what I had felt. It said Christianity was a Jewish deception by Adam Green, man, a Twitter suggestion. So I
Odin says Christianity, the original wokeism. That's right.
Then I lost a lot of friends, middle fingers on the hands of the ones who want to remain clueless. I feel like Adam Green sometimes. I need for y'all to see my side. And one group says I'm anti-Semitic, another says that I'm a Jew. And the truth is I am neither, I'm just trying to reach you. I feel like Adam Green sometimes. I know what it's like to be seen as the devil, when in reality you're trying to help them. They say I need saved from revelations, but revelations, they're in need of the saving. There's already been a few, started with the fall of Rome. It's not God, it's evil people that's destroying these homes. Human-made prophecies try to start the end times. See a foreign land is wholly brainwashed to resent mine. Books our ancestors wanted passed on to their people got replaced with ones that say our ancestors were evil and worshiping demons and knew not what they did. Should we trust our books or the ones that paint us feeling this? You fall for the latter and say we should be tolerant when your faith commands you kill me for this idol worshiping. I feel like Adam Green sometimes. I need for y'all to see my side. And one group says I'm anti-Semitic, another says that I'm a Jew. And the truth is I am neither, I'm just trying to reach you. I feel like Adam Green sometimes. And I'm all for not letting faith have us divided. But the spread of your faith was when divisiveness started. I feel like Adam Green sometimes. I need for y'all to see my side. And one group says I'm anti-Semitic, another says that I'm a Jew. And the truth is I am neither, I'm just trying to reach you. I feel like Adam Green sometimes.